Good morning. I am here to tell you about the marvelous word of reading the instructions. That's right. We often don't think that it happens, but instructions are available. There's a movie called Big Hero 6, and the kids are misbehaving, and the caretaker is like, was I unprepared? Yes. Should I have read a parenting book? Probably. There are instructions available. I've never understood. I guess it's a little bit of a macho thing or an ego thing to say, oh, well, I don't need the instructions. And to be fair, in my early years, I was someone who, no, I don't need the instructions. I'll just figure it out. And the way I learned to love the instructions is after being burned by them so many times. So many times. Just, yeah. And it was, the instructions had a bodily form. They often took the form of my dad, who, after I messed something up, or after he asked me to do something and I failed to do it, or damaged or broke the thing that I was supposed to be putting together or fixing or whatever, I would say, well, obviously, the thing is designed poorly, because I was able to break it, and it's not obvious what you're supposed to do, and this looks like it would work, and it doesn't. And then he would pick up the instructions, open them, read them, turn to a page, and say, here, read this. So, instructions, step 5, whatever you do, warning, caution, danger, whatever you do, don't do the thing that you just did there, Troy. And I say, okay. So you can only have so many costly mistakes before you're like, hey, me and the instructions, we're pretty cool right now. Instructions are kind of all right. So now, and I do admit that I'm someone who doesn't mind reading technical information, manuals and stuff like that, and I don't know if that's learned or if I always just kind of like didn't mind reading it. Oh, this is dry and technical. Wonderful. This will keep me awake. But the instructions, the instructions are there for a reason, and hopefully, this is the caveat. Hopefully they're good. Sometimes they're bad. But you cannot be faulted for having read the instructions and the instructions are bad or didn't include information about it. But for you to perform the thing and then screw it up and make a costly error, costly to yourself or to your customer, you learn pretty quick. I'm going to read the instructions. Oh, bag of concrete. I know how concrete works. But why don't I read the instructions? Just real quick. I mean, it's like a tiny fine print blurb on the side of the bag. I'm pretty sure I can read it. And you know what? Maybe it got tore off. Why don't I just hop on YouTube? And that's the other thing. If you do get instructions, you need to that was kind of weird. You need to be sure that you get original source instructions, because people will skip or poorly word things and maybe take some liberties with instructions when they do it themselves. But if you want the actual instructions, you should go to the actual source, get official instructions, usually from a website in a PDF, wherever possible. Just skip to the end. And sometimes for like technology stuff, you might even want to do that anyways, because the instructions that ship with it might be for an earlier revision or something like that. They might not have up-to-date information or additional warnings or whatever, a later revision of the documentation. So read. Just read. Lol. It's that easy. And it's kind of boring and kind of frustrating. And you know what? Maybe you skim a little bit, but frankly, the skimming is a lot better than just not opening the book, just not cracking the book. Because when you skim, you'll at least have an idea of, oh, this is a topic that I'm interested in. Or I'm having a tough go right here. Where is that? Wasn't there something in the manual about that part? Let me check the table of contents. There it is. Like, I remember this being in here. I remember a picture of this. Whatever. Just use the instructions. Just read the instructions. So I was, I want to get back into running, and I was like, okay, how do I run? What do I run? What do I do for running? Like, obviously, you just put shoes on and you move quickly from one place to another place. This is how you run. I don't know if you know this. But I went online, like, what should I do to try to run? I'm like, oh, well, I'll try running like this, and I'll try running like that. And like, no, well, I'll run sprints, and then like a long cool down, and like, let's just look it up, just see what's online. And couch to 5K plan. Run for 1 minute, walk for 1 minute, alternate for 10 minutes, or alternate 10 times for 20 minutes. Like, oh, okay. Don't do this every day. Skip a day in between. Do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Okay. Well, it's Thursday, slightly modified, but you know what I'm going to do? Like, I go out and I start running. I'm like, well, I could run more than a minute. I could keep going. And the answer is no. Follow the instructions. Don't burn yourself out. Follow the instructions. Okay. Get a plan. Stick to it. My boss, or my boss's boss, is losing a lot of weight. It's like, hey man, you're looking really good, getting really skinny there. What are you doing? And he's like, well, just kind of watching my calories and taking a walk. And I was like, wow, diet and exercise? Who would have thought? And it's like, there's all over life, it's just the instructions. The instructions are there. How do I lose weight? Diet and exercise. This will never work. How do I run a marathon? Start with a couch to 5K plan. This will never work. I have my own plan. I'm going to do this. I'll run twice as much, and then walk half as much, and then get burned out and quit. Just follow the instructions. Stick to the plan. It's really not that difficult. And then I thought about the running thing. I thought about the weight loss thing. And it's like, we know the instructions. We know the rules. You know the rules, and so do I. There we go. We know the instructions. We know the rules. And we choose not to follow them. And that's what's funny about... like, even in life, the thing with the kids, like, oh, the kids didn't come with an instruction manual. Yeah, but they publish those. They make those. And some are bad and some are good, and every kid's different, so you have to adjust to the kid. But if you don't have plans to choose from or plans to adjust between, then you're just like, what are you doing? We're just flying by the seat of our pants right here. So, like, I want to get more productive. I want to get not more productive. I shouldn't say that. I want to get more of the longer term things done and like learn to prioritize better. That's actually more important than being busy, than keeping busy. So, well, how do I do that? Read a book on it, man. Oh, he has a plan for how to do this. Follow the plan. See what happens. Like, we're in this, you're going to be with you for a long time. We're, like, I don't think there's any 90-year-olds listening to this, but, like, you're going to be, you and your body are attached for a long time. Almost your entire life. And anything that you do that can improve your body, or improve your understanding of your body, or improve how you interact and work with and possibly negotiate with your body, is going to improve the rest of your life. This is like the typing thing. Like, you learn, if it takes you a year to learn Dvorak pretty well, then you have the rest of your life to improve. Like, yeah, that was a rough, it was a rough 3 months, and it was kind of an annoying 6 months, And then the first year was a little frustrating, and then the remaining 40 years was just fine. Like this is your life we're talking about. And we're coming, you know, if you know me, you know where I'm going. It's like, oh, well, my life, how do I live my life? What is good? What am I to do? What am I to do? To do justly. What is it? It's to do. I think it's to walk justly. No, it's do walk something. I don't know. I forget. Yeah, great job. Like, how do I live my life? What are ways for me to live my life properly? It's like, oh, well, there's this book, you know. This book, it's got some pro tips in it. It's got some pro tips in it. Like, how do I live my life? What do I do? What do I do in these situations? What do I do with these friends? What do I do with these family members? What do I do with my brother? What do I do with my neighbor? Read the instructions. That's what you do. You read the instructions. And you know what? Try it out. Try it out. Try the plan. See if it works out. There are so many people that want to tell you how to live. And all of them have plans that are younger than you are. Probably, yeah. And this one's been a plan for over 2,000 years. So, you know, even if you don't agree with all of it, maybe there is some information to be gleaned from it. Read the instructions. RTFM. Because it's difficult to ask for help. And it's difficult to ask for others' advice when you haven't even read the manual.